Ever notice how the most boring player at the table usually seems to walk away with the money at 1-2 and 1-3 live? I used to chase flashy plays until I realized that one simple boring habit turned my students from losers into $15 or even $20 per hour winners and made me $2,000 a month part-time. So in this video I'm going to show you exactly what it is and how you can use it to crush the live low stakes. Most live low stakes players approach poker like an all-you-can-eat buffet in Vegas. They grab a plate and start piling on everything they can reach. A scoop of potato salad, 3 types of chicken, mac and cheese, a slice of pizza balanced on top, then a random sushi roll for no reason. They want to try everything just because it's there. But what happens? Well, their plate looks like a crime scene, they feel sick halfway through, and they never even got to the good stuff. What would the smarter approach be? Walk the buffet first. Look for the steak, the carved turkey, the fresh fish, the stuff that is actually worth paying for. Load up on just those. It might not be as exciting as randomly piling food on your table, but it is higher quality, you get a better experience and bigger results. And how does all that relate to poker? Well, most players sit down at the table and start grabbing hands the same way they grab food. Anything that's dealt to them goes straight onto the plate. They might as well see a flop. It's only $1. Let's just play and see what happens. Before they know it, they're bloated with weak hands, in bad positions, paying rake, chasing boards, and wondering why they always feel uncomfortable and stuck. Meanwhile, the winning players are the ones who walk the buffet first. They're selective, they only fill their plate when the hand is actually worth investing in. They're not trying to eat everything, they're trying to eat well. And that's the boring secret to consistent profit in live low stakes poker. Not playing more, but playing better. And it starts with being very intentional about which hands you pick up in the first place. If you're not sure yet which hands are actually worth putting on your plate, don't worry, I'll show you exactly which hand to play from every position. But first, let me show you a real example of such a buffet situation. A while ago, I was playing in a 1-2 live game. The player under the gun limped, the next player to act limped behind, the low jack limped as well, the hijack limped, the cutoff limped, and the button limped. I was in the small blind with King 7 offsuit, and I folded. The guy next to me almost fell out of his chair. He said, "Bro, it's £1, just complete," and everyone agreed with him. I didn't care to explain my reasoning to them. I let them believe that I'm a total nit. That's fine with me. The argument in such a sport normally goes like this. The implied odds go through the roof. You only have to call £1 to win 15. Well, because of the rake, this is already not true. In some card rooms in California, for example, they take almost half of this as a drop. So you're calling 1 to win maybe $7. In my games, the rake is much lower for such a small pot, but still. Also, you're out of position with a terrible hand and you're up against 7 players. This hand was only one example, but there are so many others. In the past, I would try to see flops with all sorts of hands. I would limp behind on the button with 7-5 suited. I would even call an early position bet with that hand in the hope to hit a disguised straight. But I was hemorrhaging money without even noticing it. These days, in loose, splashy games, I just fold, fold, fold. Everyone thinks I'm a nit, and that is totally okay. And if you want to play tight the right way without guessing, I actually made a simple cheat sheet that shows you exactly which hands to play and which hands to throw away in these loose, splashy games. You can get it by clicking the link in the description below or by scanning this QR code. You might have heard that playing a loose aggressive style is the best way to make a lot of money in poker. That is true, but only under 2 conditions. Either the table is full of nits who see monsters under the bed, then you can just run them over. You raise with a wide range, re-raise them, and barrel post-flop. Or, and this is the second condition, if you are incredibly skilled and miles better than everyone else. Basically, if you're Phil Ivey, Daniel Negreanu, or Stephen Chitwick. If you're one of them, great. Stop watching this video and go crushing. But if not, keep on watching. And if you play live low stakes poker, my guess is also that your games are not full of tight players who see monsters under the bed and fold when you raise pre-flop. So, as I said, it's boring, but playing super tight wins the money in live low stakes poker. There are three main reasons why. First, poker is a reactive game. Unlike sports, where the better team controls the pace, in poker, the weaker players drive the action. So if the table is loose, you get paid by being tight. And if the table is tight, then you can open up and apply pressure. You don't decide the style, the table does. You just respond correctly. Second, rake. This part is simple and most players miss it. The more pots you play, the more rake you pay. If you loosen up and now pay $20 an hour in rake instead, you must make $30 an hour just to stay even at $10 net. So playing more hands doesn't just make your hands worse, it raises the bar of how good you have to be. And most players aren't suddenly going to become Phil Ivey overnight. Third, variance. You already know poker has swings, but when you play more weak hands, those swings get bigger and sharper. You win some exciting pots, yes, but you also lose some brutal ones. If you want consistent, stress-free profit, smaller swings matter, and tight play gives you exactly that. Okay, so playing tight is the right style, but you might be asking,
how tight should we actually play?
That's a very good question. I'm not saying that you should become an ultra-nit who just waits for aces and kings and doesn't put any money in post-flop unless he has a big set. I suggest you play a classic tight aggressive style. Only complete the small blind with hands that play well multi-way like pocket pairs and suited aces. Don't call behind with speculative hands if players use big opening sizes, and stick to solid opening hands for each position. If you'd like to know what those are, I am now giving away my custom-made opening ranges for 1-2 and 1-3. Normally, I only give these to the students in my accelerator program, but today you can get them for free. Link in the description below. But even if you play the right pre-flop ranges, you still have to avoid the 5 traps that keep so many poker players broke and stuck. To find out what they are, watch this video next.